I'm Carlos Eduardo, and today I want to talk directly to Cowboys fans about a moment in time that feels heavier than a normal offseason, heavier than a normal draft cycle, and honestly heavier than a normal reset year in Dallas. Because what the Cowboys are facing right now isn't just about adding talent. It's about restoring credibility on one side of the football that completely collapsed. And when I say collapsed, I'm not using that word lightly. Let's ground this conversation in reality first. The Dallas Cowboys finished the 2025 regular season ranked last in the NFL in scoring defense and last in passing defense. Dead last, 32nd out of 32 teams. That's not a blip. That's not bad luck. That's a systemic failure. And in the NFL, when you hit that level of failure, someone pays a price. That's why Matt Eberflus is gone. That firing wasn't about optics. It wasn't about public pressure. It was about accountability. When a defense performs that poorly, changes are mandatory, not optional. From my perspective, this was one of the most important decisions the Cowboys made all year, because it signaled something we don't always see clearly in Dallas: urgency. And urgency is exactly why the 2026 NFL draft matters so much. The Cowboys entered this draft with 2 first-round picks. That alone changes the entire landscape of the offseason. And Jerry Jones has been very open about the fact that both of those picks are on the table for defensive help. Not one, both. If you're a Cowboys fan, you should pause on that for a second, because that's not something this franchise always does. Historically, Dallas has leaned offense, flash, star power, but this moment feels different. Mock draft season is here, and no, mock drafts are not guarantees. They're not promises. They're educated projections, but they do tell us how the league views the Cowboys' needs. And one early mock, released by Fox Sports analyst Rob Rang, aligns almost perfectly with what this team showed us on the field last season. Defense again. With the 12th overall pick, Dallas is projected to select defensive end David Bailey out of Texas Tech. And when you look at Bailey's production, you immediately understand why his name keeps coming up. 52 tackles, 19.5 tackles for loss, 14.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, pass deflections, a consensus All-American season. Those aren't empty numbers. Those are impact plays. But numbers alone don't tell the full story. From my perspective, what makes Bailey intriguing isn't that he's the biggest edge rusher in class, because he's not. At 6'3", 250, he doesn't fit the traditional prototype. What he does have is explosion, timing, relentless effort. He wins with his first step. He wins with his motor. He wins because he doesn't stop coming. And let's address the elephant in the room. This defense struggled mightily when Micah Parsons wasn't on the field. Life after Micah was harsh. It was exposed. It was uncomfortable to watch. And I want to be very clear with Cowboys fans here. No one is replacing Micah Parsons. Not in this draft. Not in any draft. That's not realistic. That's not fair to any prospect. But what you can do is stop asking Micah to be everything. You can build around him. You can give offenses another problem. You can create a pass rush that doesn't collapse the moment one player is missing. And that's where a player like Bailey fits into the conversation. This isn't about finding a savior. It's about restoring balance. Then we move to pick number 20. And this is where the conversation shifts to the secondary, which, if we're being honest, was just as problematic. The Cowboys' cornerback room was unstable all season long. Injuries played a role, absolutely. But even when players were available, the consistency wasn't there. Coverage busts, missed assignments, lack of recovery speed. It added up quickly. Trayvon Diggs is no longer part of this equation. Darren Bland is facing another surgery on his left foot. Several depth pieces are heading into free agency. And suddenly, what was once a strength looks thin. In this mock, Dallas selects Malik Muhammad, a cornerback out of Texas, with that 20th pick. Muhammad earned second-team All-SEC honors. He's young, he's aggressive, he plays with confidence. 30 tackles, pass breakups, interceptions. He's not the biggest corner in the class, but he's quick, competitive, and fearless. From my perspective, that fearlessness matters. Because too often last season, Cowboys defensive backs played hesitant. And hesitation in coverage is deadly. Quarterbacks see it, receivers feel it, and the margin for error disappears. Now step back with me for a moment, because this conversation isn't just about two prospects. It's about identity. The Dallas Cowboys are America's team. That identity wasn't handed out. It was earned through decades of relevance, through championships, through legendary figures who define what this franchise stands for. Tom Landry built discipline and innovation. Roger Staubach embodied leadership. Emmitt Smith ran with power and durability. Troy Aikman delivered precision. Michael Irvin brought fire and intimidation. Those teams weren't just talented. They were tough. They imposed their will, and they played defense. What we saw in 2025 was a team that could score, but couldn't stop anyone. Dak Prescott did his job. CeeDee Lamb did his job. The offense carried its weight. But football doesn't work when only one side shows up. AT&TStadium, Jerry World, is supposed to be a place opponents dread. The noise, the pressure, the spotlight. Recently, too many teams walked in comfortable. That's unacceptable in the NFC East. This division doesn't give you grace periods. Philadelphia is built to win now. Washington is building momentum. New York lives to disrupt Dallas seasons. Defense wins divisional games. Defense wins in December. Defense keeps seasons alive. If I'm being honest with Cowboys fans, this offseason feels like a crossroads. Not a rebuild, not a teardown, but a recalibration, a recognition that the formula drifted too far in one direction. Will Dallas actually use both first-round picks on defense? That's still speculation. Free agency will matter. Boards will change. But there is real reason to believe this front office understands the urgency of the moment. Here's what I believe. The Cowboys will come out of the 2026 draft with at least one immediate defensive starter, possibly two. And those players won't be asked to save the franchise. They'll be asked to raise the standard, because this is Dallas football. This is expectation. This is pressure. And for Cowboys fans watching this, frustrated, passionate, and still believing, remember this. Great franchises aren't defined by perfect seasons. They're defined by how they respond when things fall apart. The defense fell apart. Now we find out how serious the Cowboys really are about fixing it.